Welcome to Rivals. This is a basic gameplay video. We'll be going over the basic components of this hex-based war game. All of what you see is not the final art. It is all prototypes. So if you scroll down the page, you will see the more polished artwork below. To win this game, you have to defeat the other team's war heroes. Let's see how it plays. Just a quick overview of everything we have on the table. We have the game board, we have different decks, event, lurker, and treasure. We have the two teams on either side, the dice, and activation cards. Right now we have all our minis that we're not using over here to the side, and the minis that we are using are currently on the board. On the table we have activation cards. You have the movement actions and you have attack actions. Now that we've had a quick overview of the board, the Nautilus begin first.
All right. Well, I've gone ahead and set up my characters where I want them to start here on our starting tiles. So first I'm going to activate this hex and I'm going to move these characters over here. Well, since I'm not really close to Sean just yet, I'm gonna want to go around and fight lurkers in their lurker dens to try to get loot so I can stock up before I actually face him. So I'm going to use my attack action for this hex to go ahead and search this lurker den. So I flip the lurker deck. So now I've got a mutated troll shark. So I used my attack move for Jules to search, but I haven't used my attack movement yet for Algernon. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and fight the troll shark. So I'm gonna roll for my attack, which is 2 black die. So I got 2 hits against him.
What is his defense?
His defense is 2 black and 1 red.
2 black. So I'm gonna roll 2 black and 1 red as his defense, and I'm aiming to roll shields to block his attack. Which I rolled 1 shield, so he takes 1 damage.
Now these characters both have a speed of 3, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my movement to get them over to help these guys fight this troll shark. So now I'm going to use my attack phase for them. So first I'm going to use Eleanor, who's really good at buffing hexes. So I'm going to use Eleanor's ability to buff the hex that she's on, which is Adrenaline Musk. So I use 3 ether. And I'm going to buff the hex that she's on. So normally Eleanor would have 1 red and 1 black for her attack, but she went ahead and buffed that space. So instead of 1 red and 1 black, she's going to be attacking with 2 black. So go ahead and roll. So I got 2 attack.
And now I roll once again for the defense of the troll shark. I got 1 skull, or 1 shield, and 1 exploding shield. Exploding shields always generate an additional red dice to roll, whether it's exploding skull, exploding shield, or exploding ether. So I rolled an additional shield, and so I have 3 shields, and so the troll shark was not damaged.
So now I'm going to attack with Brighton. Brighton automatically comes with 2 black die to attack, and since the black die is the highest die that you could possibly have, the buff gives him an additional white, which is the weakest die. So go ahead and roll. So I rolled shield, an exploding shield, which I won't roll since I'm attacking, and an exploding attack, which I do roll with 1 red. So I got an ether, so that goes to me. So now Sean's going to roll defense for the shark. I've got 1 attacking.
And I rolled 2 exploding shields, so I'll roll 2 additional reds. And the troll shark himself gains 1 ether, which can be taken once you defeat the mutated troll shark.
All right, so I still have 1 activation left for my turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this hex since these guys are a little exposed right now. I can move through my own teammates. I can't move through the enemy team. So what I'm going to do is I've activated them and I'm going to pull them across to here because I really want to get up on that mountain hex to get an advantage to fight that troll shark. And then since it's the end of my turn, I'm going to go ahead and draw an event card. See what happens. calm waters. So nothing happens.
For my turn, I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to go and I'm going to search this coral. I'm also going to search that den. So first thing, I'm going to activate this movement. These guys all have a movement of speed of 2, so 1, 2. Now I'm going to activate the attack phase. Now in the attack phase, I can do 2 different actions. I can search or recover. So I'm going to have J-Pots here search the den. So I'm going to turn over the lurker card, the lurker deck card for me. It says, Gone Fishing. Gain 2 ether or 1 treasure. So J-Pots can either get 1 treasure or I can gain 2 ether, which means this den is empty. So I'm going to choose to look in this treasure deck. And I gained a bottle of brine. And I'm going to go ahead and put this item on J-Pots and continue with what I'm doing. So now I'm going to use my movement phase for Reginald. And he can move, I believe, also 2. I'm going to make him do something called swim, which in a swimming is a movement action. And so this also lists how many of my movement actions. I can swim, I can land, I can charge, equip items, or share items. So I'm going to swim. I'm just going to lay him down for now and move 1 space because I'm going to try to get up on top of this. Now, to get up on top of a rock hex, you have to roll 1 red dice. You have to roll a skull or exploding skull to get on top of it. So I roll, and I rolled an ether, so that means I did not make it up there. So I'm stuck right now swimming, which is negative to my defense, and I'm on top of coral, which is a negative to my defense. So, and that means I'd have to degrade 1 dice twice. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use my next movement phase on him again to once again attempt to get on top. So I rolled a skull that time, and now I'm up. And now I'm going to use my movement action to land. So I still have 2 attack actions left. I've already used this hex, so I'm gonna activate an attack for Reginald now, and I'm going to shoot. He has a range of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna attack Eleanor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Down the Scope, which costs 3 ether. And it's one of his abilities to gain an additional red dice to my attack. His attack is initially 1 red and 1 black. So now I'm rolling 3 dice, 2 red and 1 black. And I rolled 2 attack dice, 2 skulls.
All right, so I'm going to defend. Eleanor gets 2 black die. I rolled 1 shield, so she takes 1 damage.
Which is placed on her damage marker on her card. So since I have used both attack phases for all the characters, I will then end my turn. Since it's into my turn, I go ahead and draw from the event deck, and I drew Maelstrom. All models on rocks receive 1 damage. And since I just got on top of the rock, my character receives a damage, and that is Reginald. Now, being on top of the rock is advantageous because now I also get +1 white to attack and defense. Now it goes to the lurker turn. And since I am not beside a lurker, I get to choose who the lurker attacks on his team. Now, if I was beside that also, we would have to roll, and whoever rolled the most skulls gets to decide who the lurker attacks, unless one of us has the chum shield. Now I'm gonna choose for the lurker to attack the same person I was attacking, which is Eleanor. So the lurker has
2 black, 1 red.
2 black and 1 red. And I'll roll the dice. He has 2 skulls and 1 ether. So 1 ether goes on there again, and then he rolls for defense.
Let's see. I got 1 defense and 1 ether, so I get the ether.
And he takes
I take
1 additional hit.
damage. So for my turn, I'm really wanting to get up on top of this mountain hex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my movement phase, I'm going to swim with these guys and then roll to see if I can get up on top of that mountain. So first I'm going to roll for Algernon. So I got a shield, so I didn't succeed for him. So now I'm rolling for Jules. And I did succeed. So go ahead and put him up here. Then I'm going to use my second movement to go ahead and retry for Algernon. And I succeeded. And now I'm going to use my third movement to land these characters on this space. So for my attack phase, I'm going to go ahead and attack this troll shark with Algernon. So Algernon gets 2 black for his attack, and he gets +1 white because he's up on top of that mountain. So I got 2 attack. One of Algernon's abilities is that for free, he can go ahead and re-roll 1 attack die. So I'm going to re-roll the white die because it didn't get me anything. It got me an ether. So now Sean's going to roll defense for the troll shark. So he gets 2 black and 1 red.
And I rolled 1 shield and 1 exploding shield, so I'll roll another red. So I blocked that with 2 shields.
All right. So now I'm going to attack with Jules, who gets 1 red and 1 black, and then +1 white die. I actually have Spear Blessed by the Ancients equipped for him, and it allows me to change 1 shield that I rolled to an attack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I also got an ether, so Sean.
So now I roll again. I rolled 3 skulls, so the lurker received an additional hit.
All right, since I really need to finish off this troll shark, I'm going to spend 3 ether to use Brighton's most powerful ability, which is Razorfin Punch, and allows me to add a red die to my attack. So that means he gets 2 black and 1 red. So I got 2 attack, 1 shield.
And I rolled 0 defense,
And
but 2 ether. So 2 ether is added to the tile, but now the lurker has been destroyed.
Yay!
So Logan gets all the loot that is on the tile plus what is listed on the card. So what's listed on the card is he can either get 3 ether or he can draw 2 treasures.
I think I'm gonna draw 2 treasures. And none of the characters that I've left to attack have enough range to hit anyone, so I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. So now I'm going to draw an event card, see what happens this turn. So Shifting Tides. So I move all models 1 hex, and I'm going to spin the card to find out the direction.
I'll move.
So we're
this
all
way.
moving this way.
What happened is the tides come in and they push your characters around. So you spin the card, which has an arrow on it, and you'll move those characters the direction that the arrow is facing. We do this to bring the board to life. And so the ocean, since it's always moving, there's always different tides, we have it so that it can push people around, and I can help you, as it kind of has, and push them on top of a rock, or it can hurt you like me, it can push you off of a rock, so that I no longer have my +1 to attack. Now that I feel really well buffed with all the treasure items I have, I'm going to go ahead and use my movement phase. They can move 2. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, range-wise, I still can't hit them with my full movement. So I'm going to move 1, 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my movement phase again to move 2 more. 1, 2. And I'm not stepping on the coral because I don't want to be degraded on my defense dice. So now I'm going to go ahead and activate Reginald also. And Reginald, I'm going to have him swim again. So I'm going to lay him down. I'm going to go 1 and try to get on top. Reginald makes on top, but he cannot land because I'd have to have another movement ability left. So right now he does not see the +1 from the rocks. I'm going to go ahead and use my attack phase with these 3. Now, I don't have any ether, so I can't use my ether abilities that cost money, which will make me rely on my free abilities each one has, and the free abilities all these items and weapons give me. So I'm going to look over those real fast. I'm going to go ahead and use blowgun, which then discards it. What this does is it poisons one of his characters. So I'm going to go ahead and poison Eleanor.
No.
So Eleanor is now poisoned. And what that will do, that will degrade her weakest defense and weakest attack. So I discard that card. And that was Joffrey's attack. And now I'm gonna use J-Pots. I'm unable to stack abilities that cost the same amount. So I'd only be able to use 1 3 count ability, 1 1 count ability, and 1 free ability. Now I have 3 different free abilities. And the ability that I bought at the beginning, the item that's given to me, and his initial free ability. Now I'm going to use Bottle of Brine, which I will then discard. So if I roll 1 exploding die, I can attack 1 additional time. So I'll discard that. And then go ahead and attack Eleanor, who I poisoned with Joffrey. He has 2 red as attack. I rolled 1 skull. So what's happening now as he rolls his defense, he usually has +1 white. That is degraded to nothing. So now he has his initial defense dice.
Which is 2 black, so I'm going to go ahead and roll. I rolled 1 defense and 1 ether.
So he successfully defended that attack. I'm going to attack with Theodore, who's the last person I have to be able to attack with. And I'm going to go ahead and attack because some of my abilities are to be used after I attack or for defense. So I attack, I get 1 skull, but when attacking, I can choose 1 shield and change it to a skull. And since this is a shield, I'm going to change it to a skull. So now I'm attacking him with 2 skulls.
Gonna go ahead and roll defense. Oh no! I got no defense, so I get 2 hits. So it gives Eleanor just 1 remaining, which is a little worrisome.
So now I'm going to use my next attack phase on Reginald, and he is once again going to attack Eleanor. As you see, I am funneling my attack at 1 person, hopefully to defeat them faster.
He's picking on the girl. He is picking on the girl.
So now I'm going to attack with Reginald, and I'm going to use Snapshot, which my weakest attack die, if targeting a model within 2 spaces, 1, 2, is upgraded. So this red is now a black. Which I got an exploding skull. So I roll a red, and so I have 2 hits again.
Come on! Nothing. So, Eleanor is dead. Oh no! But I do get an ether, so I feel better.
And now, since it's the end of my turn, since I attacked with everybody, I'm going to draw the event deck. We got Calm Waters, so nothing happens.
All right, so now I'm operating a man down. Since the Nautilus is more of a get up close and brawl kind of team, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to his team and really start to make him hurt. Now, I'm definitely going to move these guys because I've cleared out the Lurker Den, and now that there's no one living there, I can go in and it's an easily defensible spot, so it actually gives me a bonus to defense. So I'm going to activate and move these guys here, so that's going to give them a bonus. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same with Brighton, because even though he's up on top of the mountain, he only has a range of 1, so he's really not going to help me much there anyway. All right, so real quick, what I'm going to do before I start attacking is I'm going to use Flash, the ability for jewels. So what that does is it degrades a target's weakest defense die. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on Reginald.
And since he did that, that will last my entire defensive turn. So if he attacks him with another character after that, it still stays in effect until the turn is over.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and roll for attack with jewels. And so Sean's now rolling defense negative for swimming and for having suffered a flash. So I got an exploding skull, as well as my spear blessed by the ancients. Let me change this shield into an attack. Roll this. I got another skull, so I'm hitting him with 3 attack.
Now, since he degraded me twice, since I am swimming and now have flash on me, since rocks do not give an additional defense, I am only down to 1 dice. So let's hope this is an exploding shield. It is a single shield, which means I only receive 2 hits instead of 3.
Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Brighton. I'm going to use his Razor Fin Punch ability again. So I'll go ahead and pay 3. So I get a bonus red die, and then I also have his Bone Sword, which gives me, on top of that, another red die. So I'm attacking with 2 blacks and 2 reds. So I got 2 attack out of that.
And I did not defend, so he takes 2 more hits. And he has 1 hit left.
So I'm going to attack with Algernon, so he gets 2 black for his attack. So I landed 2 for attack.
So I'm still down just the 1 black. I blocked 1, so that's all I needed to finish off Reginald.
Haha! So that'll about end my turn. So go ahead and reset these and draw an event card. Brian Fogg. Every model's range lowers to 1 till next event is drawn.
And that really hurts me as a cog because I want to be distanced as far away from them as I can be. So, man. I'll go ahead and start my turn. And I'll move in close since I have to. Actually, I'm going to swim. And I'm going to move to get on top of this rock where Reginald previously was. So roll a red. 1 skull, so J-Poss is on. 2 skulls, Joffrey's on. 3 skulls, all 3 of them are on. So now I'm going to use my next movement phase to land all of them. And now I have +1 attack, +1 white dice for every attack I make. I'm going to use Theodore to attack. So he has 1 red, 1 black, and now 1 white for being on top of the rock. And I'm going to attack Algernon, his hero leader. And roll that. So I get 2 skulls. And now he's going defense, and since he's still in the Lurker Den, he gets an additional red.
All right, so I'm rolling 1 black and 2 reds for defense. I get an exploding defense die. So I take 1 hit.
So now I'm going to attack with J-Pots, and he has 2 red, and then that 1 white for being on top. He can't do much with his abilities right now, so I'm not going to use any of them. And I didn't roll anything but an ether, so which I've been really desperately needing. So he still goes ahead and rolls his defense for exactly that reason that he just gained 1 ether. You always roll defense. Okay, so Joffrey, right now, he's going to use both barrels, which costs 1 ether. And both barrels, what that does is I can target 2 models and 1 hex. So I'm going to do I'm going to roll once though to attack both models, and he'll have to just roll defense for both those models.
So you're going to attack Algernon and who else?
So I'm attacking Algernon and Brighton.
Okay.
With 2 hits.
So I got 1 damage for Algernon. And I'm going to roll for Brighton, who got 2 defense. So he defended successfully.
And that was my turn since I attacked with all my characters. So that's a short example of the gameplay of Rivals Masters of the Deep. If you enjoyed it as much as we just did, we hope that you back us. Have a great day.
Bye.